Okay, everyone. My name is Laura Schifrin, and I would like to call the meeting of the Planning Board of January 27th, 2025 to order at 6:33 p.m. I'd like a roll call vote, please. Not a vote. I always want to say vote.
Roll call.
A roll call, please, of those in attendance, and we can start with online. Lance, want to start?
This is Lance McNally, and I'm here.
Thank you.
Carol Hofstas present.
Robert Darian present.
Beck Wanchik here.
And Laura Schifrin here. Would you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to thank all of our veterans and all of those currently serving. And thank you, Patrick. And all of our first responders. We're appreciative of all of you. The meeting this evening is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Town of Townsend YouTube channel. Is anyone else recording the meeting? I don't see anybody who say they are. And then for chairs, additions or deletions to the meeting, I did have a call today from a local developer, and he asked for some permission to come in and see us about some thoughts he has for some planning. And I said that I would, with the permission of the board, let him speak in our work session. So I'd have him, before we start the 3.1, I'll just have them come in at 3.
Okay.
Okay.
And I do that because I feel like we should be welcoming. Mm-hmm. So if a developer has questions, we should be open to hearing what they had to say, and then maybe we have some recommendations, kind of thing, before they spend thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
So I agree.
We're supposed to be good about it.
Yeah, sure.
Instead of, oh God, they're terrible, and they just want you to spend all this money before you do anything. So
Not today, right?
yesterday.
Oh, today. Okay.
Today.
Okay.
We only have work session, and we just had our 6:35 appointment, so I thought we could do that. Okay, so now I think we are at 6:35. Would you like to come up to the table?
The last planning board I attended, there was a podium stood before the council. So I'm glad to see the table.
Oh, sure. And so you're 2.1 on our agenda, and you're here about Blackbrook Solar.
Correct.
And we do acknowledge that there was a stormwater management system inspection done. Correct. And was received by the planning board. And would you like to?
Sure. My name is Lawrence Provost. I work for Nexamp Inc. We own and maintain the solar facility at 22 Meadowbrook Road. And I was alerted on October 8th by the planning board that there had been some landscaping activity in the easement area where we maintained screening trees and shrubbery. And those trees and shrubbery some had been moved and others had been removed. Out of the 23 trees that were part of the initial plan approved by the planning board, 11 remain.
11 what?
11 remain.
Okay.
3 of them were moved to an alternate position than they were originally planted. So once I was alerted, I asked the planning board for direction on if they wanted all of the missing trees replaced, or how it would be best to go about this without being in violation of our special permit. The work that was done, the area looks great. The grass looks beautiful. So that's why, I came to the board to see what their suggestions were, so that we remain in compliance. And then
Okay.
Don't disturb any good-looking area that's already there.
The part of the report indicated those removals and whatnot, but the bottom line of the report was that the stormwater drain was working properly.
Correct. It doesn't look like the elevations have changed.
Right.
There's no damage to the head wall, to the overflow structure. Overall, my inspection and walking that detention basin, it didn't look like there was any damage to that.
Right.
It doesn't look like the grade changed or it was filled in or dug any deeper. It looks the same as it was when it was finished, when I first viewed that project when the grass had grown. So.
Okay. Questions from the board?
My understanding is there's nothing wrong with the drainage system. It's working functionally.
Working
The
fine.
report came back very fair.
Yep.
The only thing that surfaced at all was the issue in the trees.
Correct.
So why did they get removed and replanted? Do anybody know how that happened?
So that was done, I believe, by the owner of the land or someone working with them. That area is not in the lease that Nexamp maintains. It's an easement that we have, or Nexamp, Nexamp has an easement with the landowner to build that drainage structure, maintain that drainage structure, and plant and take care of the screening trees that were part of the special permit conditions.
That's right.
And so annually, we have an inspection done by Beals and Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
They go out every June, July, and give the planning board a report on the health of those trees.
Right, we've been getting them, yeah.
Yeah, and if there's any issues, I think in 2023, there was 3 that didn't survive. So we had those 3 replaced. So it's our understanding that we want to keep compliance with the special permit.
Right. So the issue of the trees is not on land that you lease, is that
It's
correct?
the easement.
It's an easement that you have on the owner's property.
Correct.
And so you suspect it was the owner that altered the trees?
That's what our land management team that handles the lease agreements discussed it with the landowner, and that's my understanding.
Well, from my impression, the trees, the planting was really more as a screen to screen off the
Visible
solar
screen.
rays.
Mhm.
Is that a public way where that's open?
Where the trees are?
West Meadow? Yes.
Yes,
Well,
The road.
West Meadow Road is a
Yes.
public way.
right. So that was done for the community, I would assume, that screening.
Yeah, I guess the problem.
Excuse me, I would say that the screening is also done for residents because there's trees more than just West Meadow Road, correct?
I'm not sure I understand the
Yeah.
question.
The question is the screening more than just West Meadow Road?
No,
No,
No.
no, it's just along the
No.
road. And across the way, if I remember right, it's just an open field
Correct.
across the street.
so,
Correct.
So you don't have houses there looking at.
No,
No, I'm worried about or commenting on the properties that abut the solar field.
If I may, Madam Chair, the
Yes.
vegetation was left in place along that brook. So those residents, the vegetation that was there has remained. So their screen
Okay.
was a natural wooded.
uh-huh, okay.
Okay,
thank you.
and just one quick question. Beth, have we received any complaints from any residents about the screening vegetation removal?
No,
Okay,
And from the pictures, it does look better now.
It looks nice, exactly.
I mean, we
That's-
saw the pictures.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to
So
provide.
there's
as much as
nothing
I could.
really exciting here, but,
No, I
um,
think that our concern was that we wanted to be in compliance.
compliance.
right.
And if
Appreciate that.
the board came back and said, it looks fine the way it is, we'll maintain it the way it is. If they came back and said, we want X number of trees, there's a shortage, I think, of 12 trees from the original plan.
Mhm.
In 2023, the board approved a reduction of 3 trees to 20 trees. And then we also complied with that and replanted 3 to go with the board's direction. So at the point where we are right now, I just, with the notification of it happening, coming from the board,
Mm,
I wanted to get some input on exactly, where do we go? Do we go back to the plan, the original decision, and replant 12 trees to get us to 23, or are we fine with the way it looks?
Would you be amenable to us allowing things to continue as they are, subject to complaints from the community?
Sure.
And that if we do get complaints from the community, then we'll have to reconsider.
I think
And I
the,
think too, we were gonna look at what the next, there's another report coming this June. And we'll see
Oh.
where that is
Oh, okay.
then.
Well, perhaps we can make a site visit prior to that June.
Yeah,
I think the challenging position that we're in is a matter of consistency, right? So if another situation where similar circumstances, right, and a landowner took out some trees and we told them, well, now you gotta put them back, but in this case, we told them we didn't have to.
I think that,
And it was for screening.
sometimes we don't know what's gonna happen, right? Especially when you plant things. I mean, I kill everything.
Mm.
So I have
Me
a black thumb.
Me too.
So what I'm saying is, the replanting of trees that died, would that not have been an indication of, well, maybe that's not a good spot for them to be living?
Or wasn't it the right choice of trees or,
Right.
Yeah, I think she replaced them with a different
A different one.
species at the time.
I often, when things like this surface, they don't just surface in this particular situation, but any drawing that's submitted is what's intended to be done.
Correct.
And when you get into real world situations, almost every project I've ever been involved with has a modification
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
of some instance or circumstance. So in that regard, I don't see any violation here. I would make a motion that we accept the situation as it is, subject to any complaints coming from the community. And between now and June, if we do get such a complaint, the board will make a field visit and then we'll revisit the subject.
I can second that.
Okay.
I don't think I vote, do I vote on that?
No, we don't.
I'm still hung up on the consistency thing.
On what?
The
On the consistency.
being
Oh.
consistent with,
Well, making,
all right, so the purpose was for screening. So if the screening is no longer required, then we should remove the
well,
requirement
the screening's still there.
or less screening.
It's
Some of
less, yeah, some of it. But if the landowner keeps taking the trees out,
No, that hasn't been the case. There was an issue, I think, earlier on, back when the system was first installed, that through mowing, the haying of the
Oh,
field, that
yeah.
there was some
yeah.
haying and that took some trees out.
oh, some bushes
Some
under.
bushes out, right, so it wasn't, I don't believe it's an intentional.
No,
I think that when they did the work out there, there was a lot of different, like more, less desirable plants in there other than just those trees, so they cleaned it up, it looks nice.
I think everybody wants it to look better.
Better.
If you're
Yep.
looking for a visual screen instead of things that
because I
maybe
knew it's all
keep dying.
planted along the
Yeah.
roadway, which
Right.
kind of shields. the-
Well, I think you have to look at the intent when it was originally approved. And the intent was to obstruct the vision to the solar arrays.
Mm.
And that's why the multiple number of trees were required. So that was, and I can see that, I can understand that decision to require that many number of trees. But if the community doesn't have a problem with it and it looks better than it did, then we have a probably a choice here what to do. But I don't know. I agree with Vance. With Patrick here that I don't agree with removing the requirement for the screening. I think that probably the best approach is be grateful we have the screening we have, and maybe look at the site and see if the intent is being achieved of what the intent was.
So I'd like to say too to Patrick, I like consistency and I like everybody treated the same in all the processes. So sometimes, on the same token, we have maybe, Beth, you'll know this better than me, the oversight of stormwater systems is new to Townsend. This is not 10, 15, 20, 50 years ago, maybe 5. So we now have, how many do we have? Do we have 5 that we have approved in the time that you've been here? Because there was none approved before she was here. Just so that you know, it's not a long time. So as consistent as we might want to be, we don't have a lot of history.
Only 5, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, as we, and I say we as the planning board, have more experience with things, we may have made different decisions. And we don't know until we have that experience.
Yeah.
So I think if we had stats for 50 or even 20, we would have had more experience to go on. So I think it's a learning curve for Townsend, and hopefully we get better with each one, and everybody is treated as fairly as possible.
Let me ask this question. The trees that are there now, are they deciduous trees?
There's a mix of, I believe, maple, dogwood, red cedar, and exactly, flowering dogwood, serviceberry, eastern red cedar, and I believe there was some maples that were existing.
Oh, if they were all evergreens, that would be a real screen. So honestly, I guess I feel the same way I said earlier about that.
And we'll maintain, we're going to continue to have it inspected by Beals and Thomas throughout, to fulfill our requirements of the special permit. So what is existing will continue to be checked annually and then brought back to, current conditions.
Right.
So each year you really have an opportunity to review it and see what's working and what's not.
Right.
And then you have the opportunity to change your regulation and how you look at things that come in the future. I think it's going to be really, we don't want to make demands that are unrealistic, I think.
Right.
Because to what good is that? Especially if it's not going to be cost effective if they keep dying and you're experimenting.
Yes.
So unless you want to use something that is not going to be living at any point, meaning a wall or a fence, if that's what you really think you need to cover it up kind of thing, then you have to change what you're going to require.
Well, I suggest we postpone any action on the screening until the next report comes in. But that'll give the community a time to comment if they have any concerns. And then we ourselves can go by and see how dramatic this is. I guess I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, the simple motion to delay until the next inspection comes in. Okay, is that a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have discussed it. Is there more discussion?
I just want to comment, delay the screening topic until that time.
delay the screening topic until
Right.
then. Make it reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote and start with Lance, please. Online,
Lance was trying to get off from mute. I vote in the affirmative.
thank you, Lance,
Robert Theron, yes.
Carol Hobbs says yes.
and Laura Schifrin, yes. You don't vote, but okay. I hope that was okay. Thank you so
Excellent.
much for coming.
So
to
once
meet
we
with us.
get the report from Beals and Thomas in June,
Mhm.
I'll forward it to
Beth.
Beth and. Excellent.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I don't see the one who asked for the meeting. In fact, I think I told him probably about 7:15. So why don't we go on to 3.1? I guess the meat of what we've been doing for the last few months. And we're planning to close in on reports. And how you would like to report this at the town meeting. And who's gonna do this? Cause I will not be,
Well, you'll be up there on the
Yes.
stage, and I'll be over at the finance table.
well, I think they're gonna have me reading the motions.
Oh, okay, like
The
like they
motions?
usually do? Like, I mean,
okay.
like usually at the time, the selectmen take
Yeah.
turns reading the motion.
Right, and then we haven't had our practice drill yet, so
Okay,
I
So-
understand it's 15 minutes before the meeting actually happens.
so what is it that has to be read at the town meeting?
What we're recommending for it was
The
only bylaw.
recommendation. So the,
You have to read
The-
the whole change, the whole page or so for each of them.
Yeah, you have to read the actual law.
you have to
That's-
read the whole bylaw, and I don't know if that's gonna be what I do.
But that's in the whole bylaw is part of the article, so I would assume,
No, the portion of the bylaw that we're altering.
okay,
Yeah, I don't think it's a thing.
It's like,
in the articles?
it's a
I
full-
thought I saw a printout of the articles and it contained the whole bylaw.
Do you have any information for us here, please? Thank you.
Yes, if you're going to be making the motion, Lori, yeah, you will be reading the entire article. And after you make the motion, somebody will second it. And then at that point, somebody can read the planning board report. You can read it, or one of the board members can read it. But I probably would recommend keeping it very short, because the motion itself is pretty long, right? But so I tried to draft a few points in that report, and I tried to make them concise and general so that the public knows the reasons behind these zoning amendment proposals.
Changes, okay.
Well, this.
Is that the report?
No, this is what we're gonna approve. You've seen this, I've seen it, and I made some additions to it. You've seen this. This is the report that's gonna go in the.
Oh, the
for
annual
meeting.
The annual
So this is
report,
3.2.
okay, the
okay.
annual.
Oh, no. I think you were holding up the annual report, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
said. It was the annual.
Okay,
So
that's a
it's not-
separate agenda item. Okay.
Now, and that's 3.3.
okay.
So on the 3 articles, did you write a separate bullet or something from planning board to say after the motions are read?
No, but I can add that onto the draft. Do you see the draft reports there? Is that what you have for each article? There's a report for each article.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right here.
Okay.
And its subject is report to special town meeting
Okay.
So this is,
That's what's gonna be read?
these are the reports that the planning board will read. Someone from the planning board is gonna read this.
Uh-huh. And I don't know that they have to actually read that first paragraph where it talks about, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to read the motion, then I don't think that has to be reread, the
Right.
section on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I'm
See,
reading the motion.
So she reads
Yeah.
the motion in total, so then we would start with the planning board voted unanimously and start there.
where?
Those-
I'm sorry.
The planning board voted unanimously. You have
Yeah.
that as a written statement. And that's
Yeah.
what the planning board should report.
And we don't
Yes.
have to read all the stuff up above about the general laws and
Yeah.
all the other stuff. I just start, excuse me.
I could take that right out. I can take that out if you want. It's just to have the right article and the right bylaw. The important thing is that you report to town meeting that you had a duly published and, you know, noticed public hearing, and that you voted unanimously to approve it. So that's like technically the planning board report. The reasons I just put in there, but you don't have to. It's always better to. You can shorten them, make them sweet and short, you know, but those are the reasons that you're bringing this forward.
Okay, I see.
Easy.
All right, so could do,
Patrick looked at them.
I did read them. They're pretty self-explanatory. I don't think we need to add anything, honestly.
No, I was
Okay.
thinking of
I didn't know if there was any
reductions or less
reduce-
of words that you would think.
Concise. Shorten it.
They're not very long.
No, it's not horribly long.
And they're gonna have that in their hands anyway, right? Aren't they?
No,
Thanks.
no, we don't have any handouts planned. But
Okay,
It's at 8, right? Or 7.
but the
So,
yeah,
It
the
should be
full
on-
text of the bylaw will be on the screen.
Right.
okay.
I'll be she'll be up on, and you can read them on behalf of planning board as our alternate.
Sure. I can
Unless you
read
want
that.
to, Robert.
Do you want to read them? You're gonna be,
I'll read them, yeah.
okay.
Want to take turns? You guys can sit together.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Sounds
You want to take the
Sharing
first
is
and
good.
third, and I'll take the second? How
Sharing
about
is
that?
good.
Be support of each other.
I'm sorry?
You and Patrick will read them
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
together. You sit together and share.
Awesome.
You can
Okay,
read
great.
them in unison at the
Say
same
what?
time.
Oh, that was right, yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
take the subsection B site plan approval report, and you can take the other two.
I'm sorry?
I'll do the subsection B site plan approval, and you can
Site
take,
plan.
you can take the ADU and age restricted bylaw.
You take that one.
So is the sequence, you make a motion, you read the
17.
Wait,
thing,
wait,
and then we read
excuse
the
me.
report.
Correct.
Which here?
From planning.
Okay, this is Article 17,
All right, that's mine.
yeah,
Okay,
and then you're gonna do Article 19.
all right.
And Patrick's gonna take that one, which is Article
Okay,
18.
All right.
Must be 18.
I do have one comment here. I don't know. One of the things I'm discovering is that on the age restricted units,
Okay.
there's not enough attention to the actual occupants of the buildings. We really have to think about the people that will be living there. And, in past reviews, I noted that the dumpster was not an inconvenient place for an elderly person. We've seen since an approval where the location to the street was so close that it really isn't inducive for a handicapped person. It works, but it doesn't work well. And then the last one on the Depot Street extension, there was just no a minimal amount of exterior features for an aged person. The only thing I saw there was a table.
I know, but we can't, right now for tomorrow's meeting, we gotta go with what we got.
And I don't know that you can, how do you mandate that in a bylaw?
You don't mandate it, okay? I think it's more of a policy. It should be one of the objectives of a board when they look at a plan.
Okay, so that's.
That's part of the
and that-
oversight of the planning board.
Right, and also, like I said before, as we go along, and age restricted is new for us.
Hmm,
Okay, we've done 3 now, but that's only 3
right,
in the whole town, so each time we learn something,
that's right.
okay? So I think that's, and I say we when I say the planning board, because I won't be here soon, but this is,
There's nothing to change in this article. It's just
Right.
commentary on my end.
Okay, all
okay.
right,
Thank you.
okay.
Well, that is for the future too, and future boards and how they look at things, and hopefully with more people coming to the table, then you have more ideas,
Right.
so
Okay.
thank you for that, and thank you guys for volunteering to read that tomorrow night.
All right.
So, you think we're good, Beth?
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely.
Okay, so then.
I just wanted to add one thing. I'm sorry. If there are any questions on town meeting floor and, there's some, just maybe something you forgot, town council will be there. So you can defer to town council. He's, that obviously very well versed and has followed the planning board and supported the planning board through the whole process. And Erin will also be available tomorrow night. Erin Stifield, she'll be land use coordinator. She'll also be attending. So just wanted to let the board know.
Yeah, that was gonna be my first go-to, would be Adam.
There's no public comment. It's just yay or nay. That's all.
Oh, no, there's discussion.
You get bombarded
I
with
haven't been
questions.
to a town meeting before.
Oh,
No.
and this will be a very extremely mild one, because we're not talking about
Huge stuff.
huge stuff, like huge tax overrides and stuff. So
Right.
this will be extremely mild.
I hope we get a quorum. That's the
Yes,
thing.
yes. Please.
Well, I would say we need the quorum.
Yeah, and we only need 75 to get a quorum.
Good.
But this is a very mild town meeting, but, oh yes, there'll be questions.
I hope more people would, I hope enough people would attend.
Yeah, because I'd like to
Yeah, it
get,
just
Otherwise, we can't
delays
get anything
everything and
done.
it makes it.
It's a problem, it's been a problem for years now.
that's
I know.
We don't
Unless
get
it has to
75,
do with a school or the library or something like that. It's,
Or a voter no confidence.
yeah, or trash.
Yeah.
oh, trash. Oh, yeah, if you bring that up, you'll have more than a quorum showing up for the trash.
It's sad.
Okay,
All right,
so we're done with the articles, and, I think I collect those back and keep them in the folder here,
oh, okay.
but, they will have copies.
Okay,
Even though these are not handouts,
all right.
So they'll have copies.
Patrick and Robert will have copies? Or do you want me just to give them these?
They can take those, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
For
what I
sure.
missed.
Oh, is that the other one?
Where's the other one? What's that one?
This one says Robert.
Oh, that one says-
Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna quickly go to, I think we can do this pretty good and then, speak with Kevin. You all got and had in your portals the latest version of the 2024, which is our 3.2 annual report. So now we're in 25 and we're giving them our 2024 report. I have reviewed and approved and updated certain sections on our,
So Lori, this is Lance. I just have one comment.
yeah,
There's Beth, there's a formatting issue that you have with the spacing between paragraphs is not consistent throughout the document.
Okay, so do you want
For
which document? Sorry.
the annual report.
Oh, right. Yes, that is a draft. So yeah, any changes you want to make, you could simply make them. I think it's in Word, isn't it?
It's in Word, but I'm just saying that, when you format a paragraph, you can specify spaces before and spaces after, and
Okay.
it's not consistent throughout the document.
Okay. So I'll
I
check
mean,
that.
if you see on page 2, the spacing between the paragraphs it's
At the
different. In
bottom.
one case, there's greater spacing, and then in another case, there's no spacing.
Okay.
You need
I
2
can
more
fix that.
spaces for lines between 3 of the paragraphs.
Okay. I can check that. Spacing between paragraphs. I also did not pick a picture for it, but I didn't know if the board had any, recommendations for pictures. Usually we'll put a picture in there.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna send something. The picture, what do you want?
What are some ideas?
For the planning board?
Yeah.
What have we done in the past?
We did the MBTA map overlay district last year, I think it was. What else have we done? We've done pictures of, public hearings, the board members at a public hearing. What else? I don't know. I mean, maybe whatever stands out over the year of what, you feel has been something the board has worked hard on. I mean, there's been a lot of things this year.
When does that have to be, when will we have to pick that? What's the deadline?
I think this is due on the 29th, isn't it? I think at the end of the month. Yeah, I'll double check that, but probably the end of the week.
That's like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Town meeting's tomorrow, the 28th. So if you're saying it's due the 29th.
I think so. I don't have the date in front of me, but it's coming up, and it's pretty flexible. I mean, it's not going to print, in February. It's going to be.
No, but it's nice to have
So.
What about having one of the meetings take a shot of one of the videos?
Sure, that will work. Want to just do a screenshot from one of the meetings?
Okay.
Yes.
Or you could do a picture of like Memorial Hall.
Yeah, like the one up there now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
What about the new church?
Have a church, the planning board worked hard on that.
The historical,
Yeah, the
Down the harbor?
Down the harbor.
Just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
You could do.
that's done.
Yeah.
God, I saw it last night. It looks
pretty.
so
So pretty.
beautiful.
It looks
Oh.
pretty. Yeah. Fire station though. I'm not sure about the glass door
No,
of the
it's not.
fire station.
Oh, I love it.
Well, I do.
It's not done yet, though.
But I thought because of the historical fire station, I guess I would have liked more of like a historical garage door. I don't know. It looks, I mean, it's a
What
beautiful
would be
door.
a historical garage door? A barn door?
Yeah, something.
That's
I don't know.
Um,
But whatever was there, I mean, it's a beautiful door, don't get me wrong, but it does,
But it doesn't look old.
but it doesn't look old. I mean, the fire station's supposed to be, I don't know.
I agree with you.
Well, let's see if we can find something.
But the
Or
church,
take pictures of something. I mean, gazebo is used a lot,
uh-huh.
but the restoration of that church is new.
yeah. And it did come out really
Quite
pretty.
beautiful.
How about just the steeple of the church?
The front of the steeple,
The steeple's gone.
No, it's there.
Spire.
Didn't they put the bell back in?
the spires back there, the
Oh, the spires, the,
I gotta look at the weather vane.
there's a weather
But what do
vane
I
on the
know? I
top.
don't know anything.
Yeah, on the top,
actually,
there's
what's the
a,
difference, Bob, between a spire and a steeple?
There is.
I know there's a difference.
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
not
weather
sure. I
vane
can't
on the
recall
top
quite
of
what
it.
it is.
Yeah, that's what I saw last night.
Yeah.
Thinking that the
yeah,
spire
I like the
is
weather
not
vane.
there, but the steeple is.
A steeple isn't as tall as a
Spire.
spire.
I knew there was something to
Right,
that.
yeah.
Who takes good pictures?
Oh, God, not me.
I have a cell phone.
I can take it. No problem.
Okay, great,
Okay.
thank you.
Would you
Oh,
send
you're
it,
welcome.
would you send it to us after you do?
Yeah,
Or,
I will.
or if you're driving down the street and see something that looks better, do that too, and we'll take a look.
Okay,
Okay? If you can.
sure. I'll get a photo for you. Okay, photo of the church.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the annual report as presented. Did you have any other comments, Lance?
No, I did not. I'll make a motion that we approve the 2024 annual report with a picture to be added later.
Thank you.
And I'll second it.
And there is a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Start with Lance.
Lance McNally, yes.
Robert Theron, yes.
Carol Hoff says yes.
And Laura Schifrin, yes. Thank you very much. Now we have 3.3 is a letter that we're writing to Karen, right?
Yes, that's Erin wrote that for the DLTA call for projects.
Or,
It's 3.3.
Oh, DLTA, yeah. DLTA is a District Local Technical Assistance Grant Program through Montechusett Planning Commission, Regional Planning Commission.
We talked about this the last time because there's a grant that has come out and they still have money. So they would like all the communities that apply to benefit from it. So, and she listed the things that would be pertaining to the planning, which is the master plan. This is all like updating stuff because we have our master plan, but this is Patrick, actually, the economic development strategy. His idea to include that in getting this grant. And then economic, it's mostly on the economic and then some on the affordable housing for young adults.
I thought what was missing from the master plan, because the master plan has a lot of good stuff, but doesn't tell us specifically what do we need to do. What does planning need to do? What does zoning need to do? What does land use need to do? Conservation, there's a bunch of committees and boards.
Who does what?
Give me an action plan. Tell me what I need to do in order to implement our master plan and achieve or whatever our vision is for the town.
Mm-hmm.
I think that.
So I think it's good.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Beth, did you send this out?
Yeah, so next step, just so the board knows, this will go to the Board of Selectmen and in your next meeting. So the only little hiccup is it is due, the first round is due February 4th at midnight. And I believe the select board meets on February 4th, right?
We're meeting tomorrow.
I don't think you could add this into the agenda tomorrow, could you? I don't know.
I can try additions or deletions.
Okay, that would be great.
Because this will get us in, this won't take long.
Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. That way, so the signatories on that letter are going to be the Board of Selectmen, not, I think it's the planning board. She has it listed as the planning board. And each of you, can sign, if you could sign it, then we could submit it and following that immediately. So that'd be great. But yeah, that's the process. So do you want me to send that to Sabrina tonight or to make that change?
Probably have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're all gonna sign it now and you want me to scan it and send it to Sabrina?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't explain that well. This letter has to come from the Board of Selectmen. That's how how it works.
She needs to change that but we're
You want us to sign, all of us to sign this?
yeah, as planning board.
Okay.
I'll have this, I'll give it to her tomorrow.
Okay.
And then get it in additions and deletions because of the deadline.
Okay,
So I'm gonna be in town hall tomorrow. Do you want me to go to Sabrina and sign it?
Yeah, you could do that.
okay,
Okay.
so
Doesn't mean
The
that
way-
all of us-
I know, but that's great. What I guess I'm confused about is the letter from Townsend has to come from the Board of Selectmen. So do you want me to print out another letter and send it to Sabrina with the signature lines for the select board members? And that you could do in your meeting tomorrow. Okay, so we'll have both, which will be great because that's, but that's the one that I guess we have to do for the grant. So, okay, got it.
Can Patrick sign it?
Yes, you
Okay.
can sign
I'm
it.
not voting on anything. It's just.
It's not voted.
Fantastic. All
But
right.
we have, the board has approved the letter
Oh, perfect. Yep.
into the selectmen. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, guys. That's a good thing. And thank you, Patrick, for your input on that.
And she may want to put it on select board letterhead, but I will send her the Word
Yes,
copy.
of course.
Okay.
No, this would just be from, this is, Aaron did this in land use?
Yep. But
Okay,
I
fine.
will, it will go with the other letter. So it will go, you know what I mean, as a letter of support, if you will.
Yes,
So,
very good.
yeah.
That's good. 3.3 is what we just did. Yes. Okay, so, now I have put you under additions and solutions to come under our work session. Would
Okay,
you like to come to the table, please?
here I can.
Oh, we're gonna take this.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
Beth, all of this is gonna be in the folder that you left for me. Everything will be left in the folder.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
What I have a piece of property up on Mason Road, for these acre parcel, I believe. We've decided that we're gonna do something with it. And it runs along north of Mason Road, and the end of it is at the state line. Anybody familiar with that end of town?
Yes, I am.
It encompasses this tributary trout stream, Mason Brook.
Okay.
Okay, and we thought that we would probably need to create about 5 lots somewhere in here on the whole 40 acres. Like, we could do it A&R and get everything to fit off of frontage lots. I looked at it and I really think it's when I fished the lower section of this, below the Brooks Crossing side, from Brooks Crossing down, there was some lots in there that the land went down to the brook, creating a hardship for me one time, and only one time in my life that I fished it. And I thought to myself, if I could do something nice, what I would like to do is, Michael's Way ends right at the property line. It is a road that was a subdivision road from Brooks Crossing. I have 3 kind of conceptual plans that I've kind of thrown together. I could create 5 lots, no issues, A&R coming off from Michael's Way or whatever.
So you can get 5 lots by right without any problem.
By right. What I would like to do is this is one thought. I will show all 3 of you everything if you have a few moments. What I'd like to do is maybe come in off of Michael's Way, and I'm going to use the term the Campbell Farm Road. I'm not that familiar with, other than I live up there by the farm. The planning board had approved a little, I think it was a little 5-lot subdivision on kind of a common driveway kind of a thing.
And a cul-de-sac or?
A little cul-de-sac kind of a thing. And they gave some acres to someone. I don't know if they ever did or they didn't, but
I think it's Fish and,
wildlife or something.
Yeah, Beth?
I don't know.
Yes, that's correct, Lori. It was an OPSD.
okay.
Okay, I'm not familiar with it because I'm just kind of getting into it.
Open
Thank you,
space
Lance.
preservation.
Where this tributary runs is, what I'd like to do is I'd like to donate a lot of this to the town. Conservation, as I serve on conservation, and hope that the town would accept it, or conservation would accept it, or the town would accept it. It's a beautiful tributary. It feeds right into the Squanicook River. It's a breeding brook. The trout breed in there, brook trout. I believe it's stocked here. It's stocked here at the Brooks Crossing entrance. it's all native trout up in this section. But this was just one conceptual kind of plan that Stan Dillis and I had talked about.
Is that fish and wildlife or fish and game?
I'm not giving it to fishing. I wouldn't,
Because, was that who feeds it?
no, it's fed out of New Hampshire. The brook comes out of Mason, New Hampshire.
Oh, all
Comes
right.
down out of Mason from way up.
And ends up in the Squanicook.
It ends up in the Squanicook. Right. This was one kind of a plan, and I have another plan showing, 3 lots, two lots out on the road, which there is a dry area out here that we could put. There's right now currently the school bus turnaround right there at the state line. I'd like to, this is an A&R. This would, we could do by right. The lots go across to the road. We can come in here with a common driveway off of this to service these 3 lots, because I think you can service a common driveway with 3 lots by right. Am I correct with that, Bob?
Yes, if all the dealers agree.
Yeah, so, and then we have these 2 lots out here. I'd like to forget about this, and I'm still hoping that the board would kind of work with me on just giving this away.
Giving what parts?
Giving this area here, basically all of this to conservation. I believe about 18 acres,
The entire brook area.
the entire brook area.
And
And
focus on
a
this
lot
part
of
of
the,
it.
most of the wetlands.
Mhm.
I have one here that shows the 2 lots out at the road, basically at the state line.
Mhm.
And then I've got another plan showing, here's the road where Michael's Way ends.
Right.
This plan shows, because I have to show to the planning board that I can continue this road out to Mason Road.
Oh, how are you gonna get there?
Well, there's a little narrow strip right here where we can cross the stream. We'll put a bridge in and cross the stream.
Mhm.
I didn't really want to do this because
It's cumbersome.
well, it's cumbersome, it's expensive. It's
Yeah.
not even that. It's just, now you got 2 houses out here. Up here, I can create 5 lots way up on the top of the mountain, way out in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
I think that was actually my first plan. This is what, one concept, I don't even like this one because it puts a house down here, and these are lot lines coming down onto Mason Road.
Mm.
I'm kind of liking, forget this, come back to something like this. Let the town, maybe the planning board.
So
Well-
Kevin, this is Lance. Are you familiar at all with OSPD developments?
I'm not yet, and I'm not yet, and I'm gonna learn a lot about it, but before I spend a lot of money on this piece of property, Lance, I thought it would be. I was hoping that I could get a few minutes out of the planning board, or a little bit of time out of the planning board to kind of just look at what I was thinking. And that may be exactly what we wanna do, is take something like this, come over, draw a line up here like this. I think this is about 18 acres. Give this 18 acres to the town, all the wetlands, everything, the brook, the tributary, trout stream, everything, right down all the road frontage, give it to the town. The town still has their turnaround over here at the state line, which would now become town property at the school bus turnaround.
Right.
Rather than me granting probably them an easement or
Right,
something
then
down the road.
then it's by right.
Right
because it's
now,
our- Mm.
now it's a parking place for
Mhm.
few vehicles to park that wanna fish this brook.
Right,
And then
that would be nice.
Townsend has a rule. I understand that you're only allowed 3 houses on a common driveway by right,
Right,
or with
right.
permission.
So other than that, you have to finish putting a
What-
road in and doing a subdivision that way.
Well, what I was hoping to do, I have to be able to prove.
Well,
to
I
the
would,
town-
I mean, let me say that you can go ahead and do more houses in an OSPD, I believe.
Yeah, I get what
And
you're
that's what
saying,
Campbell Hill
and we
Farm is.
can. Yes, we could. I'm not looking for more density. I can make the numbers work, Lance, and have a beautiful little subdivision with 5 lots. I can make the numbers work, it's okay.
Yeah,
And I think it would look so much nicer, and then give all this land to the town to boot. And I really think that if the town owned this piece of property along the brook, I'd rather ever see it forever preserved than be part of these 5 lots that I can put in here by right. Because then this guy that lives over here, he's sitting over here in this, and then he sees somebody down there and he goes down, kicks him off the brook.
Yeah.
And this
Or more
way-
importantly, you have a conservation restriction that goes in perpetuity.
Yeah, well, the town council, I would hope that I could give it to the Conservation Commission while I'm a member, while I'm on the board. I hope, you
So
know,
is all your frontage in that area?
correct. We have 1,000 and something feet along Mason Road.
Okay, so how are you gonna get, if you give all that to the town, how are
Well-
you gonna get your lots?
Well,
Your drive.
what I'm kind of hoping for is we have a road that comes in here. It's Michael's Way.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and Michael's Way is a T. It
Is that a
ends right
private
at the-
road or public?
No, this is public. This is public road.
It's
Okay.
part of
Public right
Brooks
of way.
Crossing.
Part of Brooks Crossing. What I was hoping to do was just extend this road, create some lots off of it, or put a cul-de-sac, extend it a little bit, put a cul-de-sac in, and then one common driveway off that cul-de-sac up this hill, probably up through here is what I'm thinking, somehow get from here to here and put kind of like what I've got penciled in. This is like an emergency pull-off for fire department. Probably put one down here, probably one up here. Maybe bring this common driveway over here and eliminate this one altogether. One common driveway serving, one big wide common driveway serving 5 lots
From Michael Way.
from Michael Way.
Well, I love what you're doing over here. I love this all going to conservation, having the public access that brook,
I think it's a great
have the
idea.
town get that turnaround by right.
Yeah.
I like this access point. I think that's great. My concern, I think, or how we get there would be, these drives would be so long at the,
Well, it would be
In terms-
one, what I would like to do is come
Do a
in here, a little
cul-de-sac.
cul-de-sac in here.
and then,
And I just sketched this in, and it certainly probably
Right.
wouldn't be this long, Bob. I'm just thinking outside the box.
yeah.
And I just
because-
wanted something to come before you folks to try to get a little bit of insight before I go spending a whole bunch
Well,
more money and
I'm more in favor of doing more of this concept.
would the planning board, and I'm sure I probably have to go to the zoning board as well, would the planning board be receptive to one 18-foot wide common driveway serving 5 lots rather than the 3 that I think are allowed by right? I'm not
Right.
sure.
I think the key thing on that will be the fire department.
Well, it's a big piece of land.
Yeah.
And there's no wetlands anywhere up in
Right.
here.
Oh,
I can put pull-offs wherever the Townsend fire chief would like.
Yeah,
You know,
I think his comments would be
yeah,
the most
So,
serious.
so Kevin, I would really recommend, because I would really recommend sitting down and having a meeting with the building commissioner to discuss these options.
okay. All right. Okay. I'm right at the forefront,
Well-
Lance. I just got these plans today. I kind of kicked them around a little bit and I kind of drew a little sketch here and this was one option, but the option was two common driveways. And I said, I don't want to pollute I'm saying pollute I don't want to take up
It
a whole
gets
bunch
all
of real
crazy
estate
with
up in there.
deeds and everything
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
Well, I'd rather just put one, instead of one 16-foot wide common driveway, build a nice 18-foot wide. It's gonna look like a subdivision road, have riprap on either side, which would be storm water management. And do it up so that it looks real pretty, come up into here and then just kind of nestle these houses up on top of this hill. And, I've only got one set of power to bring up. And set it up here someplace and then feed these 5 houses from that point. And then everybody's gonna own from here, way the hell up into here and all the way down, the lots would. And then give, I think Greg told me today, he thought this was 18 acres. That when I kind of sketched a little kind of thing, kind of
Right.
did one of these and he called me back and
Well,
said.
the
it was
whole
18.
lot's 40 acres, you said,
Yeah,
right?
40 acres, I think it's 40 acres.
That looks like about 20.
So,
Yeah, somewhere around there, he
so
said
you're gonna
18.
have 4+ acres per lot.
Well, it'd be, well, if this is,
That's
if this is 18
plus.
acres, if.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's what he said, 18 acres, you got 22 if it's 40. You got 22 acres, so you got 5 lots on 22 acres. Could each one of them meet the 2 acre
Well,
minimum? I don't know. I think up here, across the road at that thing they did across the
we
road,
did 20 acres for 5 lots.
we have 22 acres, I think is what it is.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
you
That's
should
it.
be all
To
right.
get every one of them to have, well, I'm sure every one of them would have over the 2 acre minimum. I don't know if this is 3 acre up here or not, but depending on how the lot lines showed, I'm sure they're gonna be different, because here's a conceptual of one. This one's 2.3 acres. This one's 2.8 acres. This is kind of something that.
It's
like what he
close
had.
already, yeah.
This one's 2.5. This one's 4. Yeah, so they're probably, they'd all, sure, they'd all be over 2 acres,
Right.
but I don't know. I don't know that, I'm not looking for a waiver, but I don't think I'd be looking for any waivers for lot area size as far as lot size.
No, I don't think you need it.
So
You know,
there's a lot, so if they're only,
if you looked at Bob, it's just, it's kind of squirrely down in here
how
because,
many acres is the road gonna
The
take?
contours are very big there.
well, yeah, these are all hills and
Yeah,
boulders.
that's really tough.
This is
terrain.
beautiful. This is
Yeah.
a beautiful way up in here.
Yeah, but
it's
this
hell of
is
a
a
climb to
rough
get-
area to get
Yeah,
into.
This is actually not too bad. This isn't, it comes in a, see that little gut right there that falls back?
Yeah.
It actually, this comes in a little draw. It's high over here. It comes down
Oh,
and then
you
it's
do
high
have a
there.
little valley
Yeah,
like
it
there?
kind of comes right in,
Yeah.
comes in a perfect spot.
Okay.
And I mean, I could put a cul-de-sac in here
Mhm.
and then pull the lot lines off of that.
Right.
How Stanley did it, he just pulled them in. He just pulled them, kind of drew them all together
Right.
here, because at this point, we don't know where we're at. You know, my main focus was, I wanted to see if the planning board would be receptive to some kind of that OSPD or whatever Lance was talking about earlier. Before I get all carried away and
Right.
spend a whole lot of money
I
and then come
know.
before you guys and you guys say, geez, Kevin, we'd like to help you, but we can't do it. This ain't gonna work for us, you
Well, I
know?
mean, we did do it before with Campbell
Of
Farm.
all
Well,
the
you did, and I
presentations,
don't know whether that was, I think this is kind of similar to them, other than I don't want the state to have the land. I want the town to have the land. I want it to be under conservation jurisdiction. I don't want Fish and Wildlife to have it up there. I guess it went to Fish and Wildlife. I don't want them. I
well,
want my
maybe
town.
it can
I want
come
my
into
town.
Parks and Cemetery.
I want my town to have this. You know, I want my town to have this property. If we can, you know, do something like that. And I don't know what kind of forgiveness I'm gonna be asking for or anything with respect to this area in here.
Whatever relief you'd be seeking, I
Well, I
can't
know
see
that
as being that dramatic.
No, I know that I'd be seeking relief for the rule of, can't have a common driveway within 500 feet of
Yeah.
another one. And I think that might be zoning. That's probably zoning. I don't know that. That might be your
I
jurisdiction.
don't think it's in the zoning. It must be a policy of some type.
I don't know. I know I would be
Where
looking
did
for
that
that.
come from? I don't.
Probably
this-
the
This is
the engineer. the
this is
engineer.
what the engineer, he put this on. He
A
said, you know,
variance is required
for the driveways,
Right.
because there are 2 of them. If we went that way.
if you were going with
With
what
2,
this was,
yes.
right?
I'm hoping for one bigger common driveway or relief from the planning board or variance if that's required. I don't know what's required. Relief from the planning board to put 5 on one instead of 3 and 2. You know, we'll build a bigger road, I'll build a wider driveway, I'll build whatever the town would
So maybe
want.
Lance has the right idea to see the building inspector and see
Yeah.
which way he thinks would be the
Yeah,
best way for you to go and who would need to approve what.
Yeah, and then come back before then to clean it up and I'll come back with a preliminary. I can come back with a preliminary before you folks. For
Well,
a formal meeting.
of all the concepts you presented, this one's far more.
I love this.
And many more
Myself
benefits,
personally,
yeah.
as a,
Mm.
as a lifelong town resident
Right.
and
I like that
family that's
too.
been here since Townsend was Townsend, if Townsend can pick up a piece of property
Yeah.
on a tributary stream, and I think it's great, you know.
Well, instead of wasting a lot of time on it, to see how you can just focus on this concept.
All right,
Right,
okay, that's great. I appreciate your
Does that help?
time.
yeah.
I appreciate your time. No, I'll put this back to him and I'll tell him
Any
that,
comments?
Yeah,
No, I like this concept.
yeah, I do too. I think it's great.
you know, I think it's,
That would seem simplest for you too.
well, there's a couple,
Aside from
like,
the double driveway.
the double driveway, that's one issue.
Uh,
You know, I don't know what we want to put down in here. to
Well,
make
you
this
got some really tough contours to
This
deal
is the
with
place
though.
to go,
Yeah.
right through here.
Right,
I went up here to dig all the test holes and I've got I got a nice road up through here now.
yeah.
Basically, I mean, I'd have to obviously put my D8 there for a couple of days, but, as far as,
And that eliminates any bridges and stuff from the
no
maintenance
wetland,
on them and all that.
no
Right.
wetlands, no wetlands
Right,
crossings. I mean, you got, here's the 100-foot buffer zone, everything,
Is it beyond that?
everything, the whole project stays out of it, and if I came through, here's the 100-foot here. And
Right
if I
there.
come in this road,
Mm.
which is right here,
You're right
and I
there.
literally skirt right up beside it
Yeah,
and come up into here,
mm,
I'm out of it right here too.
right.
So I don't have to touch anything. I mean, we'll have to file obviously somewhere, I'm sure I will be, but here, all our work here, if we eliminate this one and come up into this one that's already, basically, this is a good logging road. This logging road, I just followed it up, kind of comes right up into here.
Mhm.
At here, I can kind of go across the top of this knoll. This is the top of this hill. I can kind of skirt right across the top of it to access these guys and access them, you know, and just eliminate all this stuff altogether. But it's gonna require either variance or some relief or approval from the planning board. Because I know we've done enough of these in town over the years that 3 is all you're allowed.
You're not able to make a cul-de-sac work up here.
Well, I wouldn't want to why build a roadway up into here? It doesn't even make sense. You know,
Right.
why
If it was-
disturb
if it was-
why disturb all the land?
If it was
If
a
you-
single road and then a cul-de-sac.
Well, I'm thinking a cul-de-sac right down in here. I'm thinking of a cul-de-sac kind of thing if I gotta do it here, or not even coming way up into here. Coming up into here and then just putting this one driveway right, basically right where this one is. Eliminating this. Now I'm not encroaching close to the 100-foot buffer zone. This is all nice up limit. It's already here. It's existing. This road is basically here. I just come right up basically where we already do. I widen it out. I make the cuts and fills where necessary to make it acceptable. And these little pull-offs, we'll just clear these out and put these, you know, pull-offs in. If another one would be needed here, every 500 feet or whatever, we
That's a
just,
long driveway
it's gotta be a,
with 3 houses on it. Yeah, you definitely need 18-foot wide.
oh yeah, I'd make it 18 foot. No problem at all. That's not a problem, but it just seemed like this is the best way to get there. Plus, I think we're helping, I'm doing kind of what I'd really like to do, which is give this tributary to the town. And then there's nobody ever that's gonna sit up here that's gonna look way down through the woods and see somebody fishing in the brook, be able to go down and throw them out of there.
Maybe it's a dumb question, but where does Michael's Way stops? I'm looking at the map because I wasn't. familiar
Michael's
with it.
Way stops right at the property line.
So would
This is,
this
this
still
is,
be considered Michael's Way up until the driveway, or is it?
no,
or is that all
I
private
would
drive
think,
starting?
I would think that, I would say it's not Campbell Farm Road, but if you brought a little thing in like kind of what they did, it would just be a little extension of Michael's Way. So Michael's Way would probably be this, right? This would be just a little continuation of Michael's Way, and then off of that, you would create these lots. It's kind of like they're created now, and just bring them into that cul-de-sac, however they landed. Because Michael's Way, what is that showing dead at the end?
Yeah, is that where it would start?
You see
Is
it,
there
Bob?
anything in the bridge crossing
Michael's Way.
documents that would prohibit you from crossing over?
Well, it's a town road. I don't know why
Oh, Michael's Way.
Michael's Way is a town, it's a subdivision
So he's
road.
up in
Yeah.
here.
So it's town
Yeah.
owned, it's town property, it's town right away.
Yeah.
Town maintains it. I'd even go one further. I'd even say,
All right,
I'd
so
even say,
he's
we'll
talking-
plow and maintain, leave it as a
talking
common driveway
giving this
situation
part
like
to
they did it
zone,
at Campbell,
Mason Road,
whatever that is up
Yeah.
there. Because
Then
that-
he's coming up here and putting his house.
Somehow the planning board let them use that as a subdivision, but it's a privately maintained road.
It is?
Yeah, the town, somehow the town does not maintain that road. It's a, I guess you'd almost call it a private way. Off from North End
I don't
Road.
remember that off my head.
Well, you're
Well, I
gonna have
know what
some
it looks
complicated
like. Yeah,
deeds
no, it
there.
looks like
I know what it
Well,
looks like.
I would,
But,
yeah, because if you, once you get up here, the only thing you're gonna have is a, you know,
I can
this
see
lot
why
will
it
have an
wouldn't
easement
be.
It's
crossing
not that spread out.
two properties,
No,
say, or
it's
whatever, because it
not.
looks like this lot.
Kind of,
Most of
And
this
it's not a
driveway
big-
falls within one
when
lot,
you go in, it's not like a
you know,
very
so there
long
isn't gonna
road.
be, I don't
It's
think
got
that's
the circle.
complicated.
Right.
You know,
The cul-de-sac.
it's gonna be a common
Did they even-
driveway
did they
agreement
even
between
pave it?
it's
I don't
gonna
even
give
know.
lot 1, 2, 3,
Gonna
4,
take it,
5,
you know,
access to,
It wasn't
to
that.
cross
No, it
within that
wasn't
right
that.
of, within the
I
right of
should
way.
look.
But now I think it's.
And if this-
completed.
If this road was
Maybe one
continued
more.
and say it's called a road, it
No, I
would
think
be
they finished the last one.
whatever, what's the name of that road? Michael's Road? Michael's Way would it just be,
Think they just
Michael's Way
sold-
would be continued 100 feet if that was what they needed to do. Stan drew this and said this falls under the category of what they did at, would be considered what they did at, that place up there.
Campbell
I mean,
Farm,
Campbell
Farms?
No,
There was a little cul-de-sac at the end of that. He said it didn't have to be. I'm only sketching this, just thinking that it's something that the town might, the planning board might want.
wow.
But this would all be basically, this is all private way. So the town's not responsible for any of the maintenance. I don't know whether, if I build this road in here, say 200 feet and put a cul-de-sac here, which keeps me out of the buffer zone, keeps me everything onto the property and everything onto our own property, and whip a little cul-de-sac in here. And the planning board would approve the extension of Michael's Way of a few hundred feet or whatever it is. I don't know yet, because they haven't had design, but I'm saying probably
Well,
200
I
feet.
don't, if you're up here looking at,
I wouldn't wanna go way up
distance,
into
yeah.
there. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go way up in there, probably 200-300 feet or whatever.
Need for.
Enough to get up in here and get a cul-de-sac, and then the lots would fall into the cul-de-sac for their whatever frontage.
Yeah,
that we
so
would have.
if you take that approach, I think your lot sizes will be far bigger than you need.
Oh, probably, yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I'm not, like I say, I don't, if I extend that into here, these lot lines, actually, the lot sizes would decrease. But instead of 2.3, this one
Oh,
might
I
be
see.
2.2
I
acres.
see how we did that.
This one might be
So,
2.3.
so this is Lance again. I really
Oh, yeah.
highly recommend that you discuss this with the building commissioner because he knows the bylaws like the back of his hand, where planning board members have got to go through them.
Okay,
And
Great.
this way, he can tell you what negatives you're be
yeah.
up against, or what waivers you might need from
What
whichever
neighbors,
board.
what waivers I might need from you folks.
Either
or-
planning
yeah,
or zoning.
But the
You can tell
concepts.
better.
But I
Good
wanted, the
one.
reason I wanted to just throw it at you folks, so you could, you know,
Yeah,
say,
nice.
yeah, you know, this
Like
looks
that.
good, I think this is something, you know, if you know, if you go to the building inspector and you get his approval, you know, clean this up, we get what you're trying to do, and,
Yeah.
clean it
So,
up and get it back to us
just-
in a preliminary form.
So, in the earlier concepts, was there any one concept that you could do without having any
Yes.
review?
Just the A&R one.
The one with
That was the one with the two buildings on
yeah, down
the
the road.
highway.
And the common driveway. Showed the road, oh, this one, showed the road coming in,
Oh, yeah.
building the subdivision road right down across this narrow little stretch and going back on. Because then there's no limits to the length of a cul-de-sac would be 600 feet, I believe Townsend pretty much always has been for many years. The limit of your cul-de-sac length of your road can only be 600 feet. So this would eliminate that. I don't know how long this road is, whether it's 400 feet or 600 feet to the next road down. I don't know that. But this lets me do it by right. And this is one that I can do. And then the other one is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just use the frontage and come in here with a common driveway. This becomes one common driveway coming off of Michael's Way to serve 3 houses. I can do that, I guess, pretty much by right. But
Yeah.
I'm taking
This
away
one-
something that I really got my heart to kind of set on trying to do if we can do
Yeah.
it, you know?
This one, there's nothing going to conservation here.
No.
No, okay.
Well.
Well, no, if I
Yeah,
put the
he
road
will.
in, if I
He's
put the
got,
road in.
he's got the
it would be.
road, he's got a bridge, he's
If I
got,
put the road in, it would be. If I come in here with a common to serve 3 lots with 2 in the street like this, I need nothing. I will have to file with conservation on this lot that's out of the street. This one here, I won't even have to file because I get everything's
that's all
outside the
right
buffer.
there.
And then when I come in here, this just, we didn't draw this common driveway, but we just skirt right in here. And we're outside the, we come in here with a narrow driveway, we come right in here and we're outside it, we put 3 lots in there. I just
Yeah,
don't
but
like this
nothing
one,
goes to conservation.
nothing. Well, can I give them something? Yeah, I think we can give them something out here, but I can't because of they're taking road frontage off the street. And the only thing I can do is give them a conservation easement. I can give them a conservation easement. I just like the whole idea, of just give this whole property to the town. I think it's 18+ acres. No houses at the street. Put them all up in here somewhere. Put them all up in here with 1 common driveway. Like I say, I'm here just trying to get a little fact finding. Lance is thinking I need to go in that direction, and that's the direction I'm going. I'll see him. I'll see him. I thank you. I thank you folks for your time
Thank you.
and your
Thanks
input.
for giving us a peek.
And your input. Goes a long way.
Well, let's
wait and
see what you come up with.
Well, now I got a good feeling of some direction that I think I feel confident I might be able to go.
Good.
And maybe with your blessings in the end.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Have a good night.
Okay, Carol, can you do 4.1, please? Is the Townsend and abutting towns.
Okay.
Notices.
Thank you, folks.
Thank
Good
you.
night. All right, Townsend. The Townsend Historic Districts Commission Public Hearing Notice in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40C, the Historic District Commission will hold an in-person public hearing on Thursday, January 30th, 2025, in Room 2 at Townsend Town Hall at 3 p.m. regarding an application from Jacob Tag for a certificate of appropriateness for the installation of rooftop solar panels at 79 Main Street, Townsend, Mass. Parcel ID 34450. This meeting will be available via Zoom.
Should be interesting.
Hmm.
I'll be there.
Hmm?
I'll be there.
You will.
Is that the house that they just renovated with the?
I don't know. I'm just an
Not sure.
appointed member of the district.
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was that house that they just renovated, the 3-story where they painted gray.
Yeah,
Is that 79 Main Street?
79 Main Street?
It's at 79 Main Street.
Well, 79 Main Street is down in the harbor.
Oh, down the harbor. Oh,
Right.
it's that way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I know it's
Yeah.
low numbers down there. but-
No, I have no idea. I still don't know anything about the town. Okay, BC, this is from
It's
Sabrina
across
Moore.
the church.
BCC boards and committees, all departments, good afternoon. Oh, the select board voted in meeting of January 7th, 2025 to reorganize the select board as follows. Laura Schifrin, Chair, Veronica Kell, Vice Chair, Clerk remains vacant until annual town election on 4/28/2025. to change the April 2025 Select Board meeting dates to April 1st, 2025 and April 15th, 2025. And
First and
is,
third.
and assigned the Select Board liaisons as follows. Laura Schifrin, Elected Boards, Veronica Kell, General Government and Public Safety. Please share with your boards and committees respectively.
Okay, so that went to all the boards and committees, and I just want to say at this time, because I didn't say it under the announcements. We are in announcements. So while we're in announcements, there's lots of positions available in town hall. And the election has been posted for April 28th, and the process of taking out papers to be elected. And we would all appreciate as many of our community members that would like to participate, because there's a place for everyone.
God, I hate being elected.
Well, also volunteer, there's volunteer positions.
Right. But I'm married, now I'm also on the capital planning
I
committee.
know, I wasn't pointing at you,
All right,
but to many of our, there's really nobody at the table, but to many of our,
Audience.
right, audience, if you're listening, you are wanted. There are volunteer forms for you to participate. Thank you.
That's a good way to meet town people.
It is. It is a good way to meet town people. And you could have fun.
Yeah.
We try.
I'm not sure how to read this, but town managers, this is from MTC, with the attorneys. Town managers, administrators, planners. Am I supposed to read that whole
I don't
thing?
think so. This looks like it's from an attorney.
It must be from Adam's office.
Yeah. Just,
Let me just take a quick look and see
Yeah.
what it's, let me just see what it's.
it's not like a subject.
Change with the caveats. Summary of legislative changes to economic development laws, H.5100.
Interesting.
References made to the Doug Cash. In that connection, on November 13th, 2024, the legislature passed H.5100, an act relative to strengthening Massachusetts economic leadership, would authorize a general bond issue of approximately $3.96 billion. This legislation has been forwarded to the governor for signature, contains a number of grant programs available to towns and cities, with the caveat that in order to qualify, a municipality must be in compliance or interim compliance with the multi-family zoning requirements set forth in General Law 48 and 38 and BTA zoning. I guess that's good enough.
We know what that means.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
what that's
that
all
means-
about.
I guess
Unbelievable.
these are all.
I can't take it.
Okay, we're good. Okay, this is other towns. Town of Groton, Planning Board public hearing notice, special permits, Hammerhead Lot and shared driveway, 101 Longley Road. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 40A and 9 and 11 in Mass General Law and the Code of Town of Groton, Chapter 218, the Groton Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Thursday, January 23rd, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. in the Town Hall to consider the application submitted by Christopher Curtis under the provisions of Groton zoning bylaw, section 218-64, hammerhead lots and shared driveways. The applicant proposes to create one new lot by subdividing the existing residential lot at 101 Longley Road into two lots utilizing the existing driveway as shown on the plan entitled Hammerhead Lot Residential Site Development Plan, 101 Longley Road, Groton, Massachusetts, prepared by Landplex, dated December 18th, 2024. Copies of the applications are on file with the planning board and the town clerk. And this is notice of decision from the town of Pepperell. Applicant is Fabio Lacerda on behalf of the Leon Shattuck Family Trust. The subject property is located at 147 Nashua Road, just east of the intersection of Dow Street and Nashua Road, and is owned by the Leon Shattuck Family Trust Citizens Bank. Where is the decision? Oh, decision of the board. Relief requested special permit, major site plan review, and a land disturbance permit to permit the construction of a contractor's yard for vehicle storage staging in a storage and office building associated with the same on a 3.3 acre site. Decision of the board was granted with conditions. Dated decision was December 16, 2024. And it doesn't list any of the conditions. And this is from the town of Groton, Planning Board Public Hearing Notice, Special Permit for Wellness Studio, 134 Main Street. In accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48 and 5 and 11, the Groton Planning Board will hold a virtual public hearing via Zoom on Thursday, February 13th, 2025 at 7:15 p.m. to consider the application submitted by Yogesh Kumar under the provisions of Groton zoning bylaws, sections 218-5.2, schedule of use regulations, and 218-5.5, special use considerations. The proposed use is a wellness studio in the basement unit of the existing commercial building located at 134 Main Street. You may attend this public hearing for hearing on Zoom, and you can go to the wellness studio.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll go.
It doesn't
It's
say-
good for Groton. We need one here.
I didn't see that. The town of Groton Planning Board hearing notice, proposed zoning amendment, MBTA Communities Multifamily Overlay District. In accordance with the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 40A and 5 and 11, the Groton Planning Board will hold a virtual public hearing via Zoom on Thursday, February 13th, 2025 at 7:45 p.m. to consider proposed amendments to the Groton zoning bylaw, Chapter 218. The purpose of the proposed zoning amendment is to create a multifamily development overlay district that complies with the requirements of the MBTA Communities Act. You may attend this virtual public hearing on Zoom, and the copies of the proposed zoning amendments are on file with the planning board. And, is this the,
That's the
Oh,
bylaw.
and this is the bylaw.
Is that their bylaw? Yeah.
Yeah, this is their bylaw. I don't have to read this whole thing, do I?
No,
Can I just make a quick comment? I just wanted you guys to, I had put a copy of that in your folder because they actually have an affordability clause. So it gives you an example of how
I
they
see.
incorporated it. So just for
Okay.
information.
Yeah, this is their thing, affordable unit.
Hopefully it's not final because there's an error in it.
Oh, is there?
Does say draft.
Oh, it
Does
does
say draft.
I'm just looking at an
I
error
think
right now.
ours is better.
It says they're gonna go up to 5-story, 55 feet.
5 stories?
Holy cow.
Robert wouldn't like that.
No, I wouldn't like that either.
That's big.
That's tall. Oh yeah, no
That's a very
structure,
large
so
Where in Groton? Oh, no, that's just their bylaw.
that's just the bylaw. Why would they want to do that?
I don't think it will pass.
No structure shall exceed, it says exceed 5 and then parentheses 4, so that's the mistake.
I'm sorry?
It says no structure shall exceed 5,
Five, and then they have
parentheses
the
4
4.
stories, 55 feet in height, so
So,
4 or 5, but either way, that's still a large building.
yeah. That's
Wow.
I'm surprised.
15, they got 15 dwelling units per acre.
I don't think they'll pass that.
The maximum permitted density shall not exceed 15 dwelling units per acre.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they want to go big.
They're going big.
Wow.
It's gonna be a big battle in that town.
And they don't have public sewer there,
No,
no? But they have public water.
limited.
There are areas that they're
Where's the
considering.
district they're putting it?
So they have some areas that they are considering. They're all on Main Street.
All of Main Street?
They're not, they're all on Main Street, but,
Not all.
yeah,
All
Right.
on Main Street.
2
Which is
acres,
weird.
25 acres. It's page 6.
Well, that's where their schools are,
9
the
acres,
academy and
5
everything
acres.
else and the
Oh,
hotel.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna be putting a big 5-story building on Main Street and destroy the look of the whole town.
I don't know if they
I
can
don't,
stop it.
I'm not even sure where you would put it.
Where are they showing it? Because that's a very densely,
Not familiar.
It's already
use area.
densely.
You have to look it up on the map, on the
Oh,
assessor's map, but there's parcels and owners and areas they're considering.
They state owners?
what
Oh, so
page
they're
is that?
privately owned. Oh, they're all privately owned. They're not that big.
Well, they're designating the following properties to be included in the multi-unit development. So,
Uh, wow, okay, next.
Yeah, right, well,
Well,
good for them. That was
That'll be
cool.
interesting to watch.
yeah, I'd like to see what happens with that one.
Yeah.
February 13th. They didn't do it on Valentine's Day, they did it the day before.
So when is that?
Oh, so they're having a meeting,
When
their
is that
meeting
town
for
meeting?
approval is February 13th?
February?
But they're, what does it say? Yeah, okay. Thursday, February 13th at 7:45 PM via Zoom. It's gonna be a virtual public hearing, so they're all afraid to have the people come live, because it's
Zoom
only
only?
Zoom only. It's a
Zoom
virtual,
only for public hearing.
yeah, we'll
Interesting.
hold a virtual public hearing via Zoom. Okay.
Okay,
4.2, you want me to do 4.2?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Agency
And this
notices.
is from Jeffrey Zukowski. What's he from? Mitigation, CDA, external availability of funding grant announcement FY 2024 hazard mitigation assistance. Your community has been identified as having a hazard mitigation plan that has expired or is set to expire by 12/20/26. There are funding opportunities available that could be utilized to assist your community in updating these plans. See below. Didn't we just update our mitigation plan?
I don't know, but it says it expires in 26.
Yeah.
So where does
No,
that fall?
no, our plan is expiring. It was updated in 2020.
Really? It
Well,
seems
that
like,
seems like yesterday,
It does.
2020. Now it's 25.
but it seems like we just did it.
Well,
Are you thinking of the open space and recreation plan?
I gotta
This
ask
is
Erin,
hazard.
do you know if that's ever been actually approved by the state? I had a conditional approval, but
is Erin on?
I don't know, but I'll definitely ask her because I know I think she's been working on that. Yeah, so I'll check
because
up.
we're waiting for the ADA stuff that we received and
Okay.
that was the last thing to get the full
I'll
okay,
get a
so,
follow-up status for you.
okay, building, do I keep going down?
Who does that fall under, Beth? Hazardous
Um,
mitigation.
The open space and recreation plan or the hazard mitigation plan?
No, the
Hazardous
hazard mitigation.
Oh,
Hazardous.
the planning board originally did a combined hazard mitigation plan with the MVP plan. So it was a combined document. And as it turns out, the hazard mitigation plan is expiring. I don't know if the other part is expiring. Remember, we got the planning grant years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So we need to be eligible for grants. The town will need to update the hazard mitigation plan. We can separate it out or we can look at options of how to maybe do it through the MVP planning grant again. I don't know, but Erin and I are both looking at different funding sources to do that. Erin especially should be looking at that.
Okay. And is that something we would be, is it, or was it, I don't remember, is that really intricate? Or if it's an update, it maybe just means parts of it have to be updated?
Mm-hmm. It's a technical document. I will say that it's very technical. Yeah, that's all the statistics on Townsend's flooding and, everything that's impacted the town in terms of natural disasters in the past, and then the planning for the next few years. Last time it was done by Weston and Sampson. These are funding through that are, brought to the attention of the town. So the update, if we could get funding to do that, it would be outsourced.
Well, yeah, it has to be outsourced. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And this is just from FEMA, the staff has prepared draft floodplain district bylaw for spring annual town meeting.
And there's a survey out. Did everybody see the survey?
I saw it, yeah.
It takes a minute.
Huh?
It takes a minute to answer it.
I know, but you have to be familiar with all parts of town to respond to that.
No, they're looking for what your experience might have been or what you have seen, not to tell them about the whole town. Because I did answer it, and I answered it to when I saw what happened at the harbor, when it was flooded over the street. I didn't have a picture, but I saw it. I knew that it happened. So that's what I did. That's what I mentioned.
Yeah, I did look at it, but I had nothing. I haven't seen any floods or anything.
I probably could have said other things, because also the one down on that way on Main Street West.
Townsend?
When you go over the bridge, there's a house on the left there. I've seen water up to the house.
Really?
Really? Wow, yikes.
I didn't put that in the.
Yikes.
The only place I've seen it is, you remember where Baptized was? No? Okay. Southwell Road.
Yeah.
Southwell Road. So you come across the bridge on South Street.
Yeah.
You go right, Southwell Road.
Yeah.
And then you continue down, and then it dips down. That's where Baptized used to be. Was
that a place?
That was a local swimming hole.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So right at that dip, I've seen
Probably
flooded.
flooded.
Right.
So answer that.
All right.
Really, just they're looking for all these little tidbits that they can put into their plan, their report. Okay, because they can't see everything. But if everybody in town has seen something sometime, if they get 100 plus of people who saw it in different areas, then they get an idea.
I took a picture of the flooding in summer 23 on Barker Hill. Right next to my house is a culvert that got overwhelmed, and it was up to my knees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you answer the survey?
I did, yeah.
Oh, good call.
I submitted a picture.
So one question. So this survey, is that gonna, if you cite a location, for example.
Is that gonna put you in the floodplain?
Exactly, that was my question.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. Did anybody feel their house shake today, this morning?
Yes, I thought.
The earthquake.
Somebody told me that like around 2 o'clock, and I swear, at like 10 something in the morning, I was in my kitchen, and all of a sudden, like I heard this
something.
It was like a rumble.
Something like had fallen. And so I looked around the breakfast bar, there's nothing fell. Go in the dining room, nothing, everything looked the same.
Right.
I went down the basement, looked up to see if something went on in that beam area between the two rooms. Nothing. So then I didn't think about it because it was quiet after that.
Happened to me too.
Yeah,
Really?
I felt something,
This
but I didn't.
morning.
Huh?
This morning.
Yeah, this morning.
But I didn't know. I kind of like, well, what was that? But then I just had
It
a
was like a bang.
generator installed. And
Yeah, it was
sometimes it
something-
makes noise and I didn't know what it
It
was.
sounded like a thump, like a truck hit a
Yes.
bump
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they said that it was felt up in Maine.
really?
Oh,
So it was
yeah.
all through New England.
3.2.
Yeah, that's what he
We
said.
get them every 5 years. It's no big deal.
I'll get them. I mean, I can remember sitting at Hanscom we were in the little cubicles at our desk and all of a sudden,
Yeah,
all of us, this was 5 of us, like in this little office, and all of a sudden we all like were bumped out of our chairs because the earthquake came and we all went like. because
believe
they
it
were
or not,
kind of pushed us out.
Massachusetts is,
And
I think,
everybody
a
was like-
number 2 or number 3 earthquake zone,
Really?
which is a very severe
But
zone.
we have different.
But the difference is, it's so infrequent, okay? In other words, they're very rare.
Right.
Right.
But the intensity of for how powerful they can be is still there, the potential.
Yeah, but wasn't one reported like within the last year?
What?
Yeah,
Wasn't one reported within the last year in
yeah.
town, like Turnpike Road and?
Yep. There was
This
another
is
one.
Lance. I'm gonna have to move on here in a little bit.
Okay,
Okay.
I just thought you wanted all the interesting stories, but okay. Okay, we done with the announcements. And 5.1 is just informational about the collaborative 30th annual conference, March 15th, 2025. 5.2, there's still the planning board member resource library, if you care to look at that. And our next meetings are February 10th and February 24th.
I did forget, I saw an email about another special town meeting. Lori, could you please share that?
Oh.
Was it another special town meeting or the annual town meeting? I got an email from,
Okay, so the another special meeting will be held sometime the week of March 10th. It has to do with the override for the schools. And Ashby and Pepperell are meeting the same week. We're gonna try to meet the same night as those 2 other towns.
okay. So what's the
Okay,
date? And I'm sorry, the date again?
The week of the 10th. I don't have the exact date yet. The
Okay,
week
thank
of
you.
March 10th. Okay,
Okay.
so, and yeah, that's about the override. And there is a meeting on, I think it's February 12th, which you can participate or listen to on Zoom of the school committee. I don't know the exact date, but that would be on the website somewhere.
Yeah.
Or on their Facebook page even for the school,
Yeah,
they're
it'll be-
posting that
yeah.
stuff.
We know.
Okay, so I did that, and then, of course, the fall town meeting is tomorrow night at 7 PM at Town Hall,
Why do we call it the fall town meeting?
because it was supposed to be in November or December,
Oh,
but it's happening,
We usually have a spring and a fall.
oh, I see.
yes.
Those are the annual meetings, not the special ones.
Right. But the annual meeting is where most of the things will get done, and that is the beginning of May.
Right, and
This year.
that's all the town departments.
So now that we have finished, if no one has anything else to say, I will entertain a motion and a bake at 8:15 to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 8:15.
I second that emotion,
Okay?
motion.
Oh, I've said that. And so if no one objects, we are adjourned at 8:15 PM.